Welcome to Backyard Bows. Hey, welcome to Backyard Bows. I'm Brandon, and today we have our first bow from Athens. So it's the all new for 22, the Vista 31. So last year they had the Vista 33 and 35. This year they added a little bit shorter axle to axle, and they made a couple changes from the other Vistas. But man, I love new companies. They just kind of intrigued me, and I kind of dove right in my little report. I ended up getting a hold of, which this doesn't happen all the time. So when I reach out to companies and try to get a hold of somebody to kind of talk through the company, maybe their vision for the future, the bows that they're putting out at the time, sometimes I get a return email, phone call, sometimes I don't. Very rarely, and I'd have to say this is a first, I got a hold of the owners. So not only did I have one of them, but both of them. So the couple that bought Athens 3-4 years ago, I got a hold of both of them on a phone call, and they answered all my questions, which I thought was really cool. Great customer service. I love that they took the time to sit down with me one morning, and we had, a 20-minute phone conversation about the bow, about Athens, about their future, and kind of about their vision of what they want to do with the company, which I love. So a couple interesting things. Athens was originally a machinist company that had, that were big bow hunters. So they started making bows, which I think is really cool. And then this new couple bought it, and they're trying to, obviously, just like every other company, kind of revamp what they're doing, putting out some amazing bows. So this is their flagship bow for 22. I love the axle-to-axle link, so it's at the higher end of the shorter axle-to-axle bows that I like to hunt with. So I'm anywhere from 29 to 31 is what I like, somewhere in between there for the style of hunting I do. So this is right at the top. So 31-inch axle to axle, 6.5-inch brace height, 4.2 pounds, 340 on the IBO. It has draw weight options of 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, and 80. So accommodating a lot of different draw lengths or draw weights and draw lengths. So it has two different modules. One goes from the kind of standard that we see 27 out to 30.5, which is I have, which is the number one. And then the number two caters to those shorter draw length people anywhere between 24.5 to 26.5. So again, I love bow companies that can figure out a way to kind of cater to so many different people, and they put all their energy into fewer bows that cater to a lot of people. I think that's something that I think is important. Instead of mass producing tons and tons of different bows, each bow caters to a different group of people. I like a company that focuses and tries to put out the very best bow that will accommodate a large group of hunters. So I love the axle to axle. I love the riser design. It's simple, it's sleek. I love the finish. So they have a powder coated finish this year. They also have this, what they call color infusion, which was explained to me kind of like a tattoo. So the ink infused with the powder coat. So you have those two different options. While we're on colors, I couldn't believe how many different color schemes they had. So with the different colors that they have, mix and matching limb and riser options, I think they have over 200 different color schemes. Again, I love that. I love variety, I love options. Everybody's different, we love different things. So this one right here I have is the Gunsmoke. Kind of cool, not necessarily something that I would normally go with, but man, I thought it was a little different. I love solid colors, but the really sleek color here, and again, this finish is incredible. The thing that they added new to this last year from this year is they added this cable guard, ball bearing cable guard system here. It's really solid. I love that they face inwards, and it has a little back bar that kind of contains those cables. This was a nice improvement, I think. And then also they claim that these new blocks that they have, these dampening blocks, just a new material, which you can kind of tell, but I really like these. I like the shape of them. There's one on top and bottom, so that was also new to this year. I love the limbs and limb pockets, really nice wide platform here. They changed their limb pockets up a couple years ago, and man, these things are as solid as you can get. If you look up underneath, they have what I like to see, which is some kind of, screw or indentation into the limb that holds that limb from moving back forward and backwards. So it keeps it in place really nice and solid. The cam systems, I love them. They look like they're very, a really nice and solid cam and module system, not too aggressive. I think this thing is gonna draw like butter. If you look on the top here, something else that we haven't seen a ton of, which is new to me, is the let-off adjustment. It's this wheel that spins on the back. So you unloosen that one screw and you can spin it to 3 different positions for an 80, 85, and 90% let-off, which I like that too. Nice, easy to use. And then on the module, you have your, you'd have to find the chart, which we'll throw up on the screen, but you have your adjustments for your draw length. But you kind of got to go with the chart because it just has lines to indicate different draw lengths. I put it to 70 pounds. It was right on the money, all the way tightened down. Let's go ahead. Let's sling a couple inside, and then we'll hop outside, and we're gonna have a day. So I love any time that I get to shoot a bow from a company that I just have, not very familiar with, something new. This is always something that's really fun to me. So, all right. So already fully set up. I love the weight distribution and balance of this bow. All right. So the first thing that always stands out to me the most is the grip. And man, I really like this. It's a nice thickness. They have nice round edges on it. It has this little indentation on the inside right here for your thumb and maybe your 2 fingers if you like to cuff your grip a little bit. But man, it feels really good, and it feels like it would cater to a lot of different hand sizes. It's always kind of the first thing I notice when I pick up a bow is that grip, which always stands out to me because each one is so different. Man, so shot cycle is really, really smooth. The draw, it feels like maybe not as, maybe right under 60 pounds, like right at 60 pounds or 65 pounds. So it feels a little bit less than that 70 pound that it's set at. Nice and easy to get back. I love when they just kind of give right there and just flow right back. And man, the weight distribution of the bow, like I mentioned from the beginning, is so nice. Everything is so natural on the bow. So from the very, when you finally get it set up, right there, it's real nice. And then your shot cycle, it's a perfect follow through. Really nice weight to this riser. And man, this thing, the more you kind of get it in your hand, it's a really solid bow. Everything about it, real solid. Little vibration, little bitty noise. Man, I feel like this one is going to grow on me throughout the day. The balancing forwards and backwards, it kind of settles in. It has a nice back wall to it. For just having some string stops, the back wall is real nice. The cables don't give too much, but the balancing left to right, it takes a little bit of concentration. But man, this is nice. This is the first Athens bow I've ever shot. Let's do one more and then we'll get outside and we'll do a whole bunch. But I think right off the bat, I love the grip. That's my favorite so far. The grip, the draw cycle is really nice. The hold takes a little bit of concentration, but other than that, man, the bow's quality is top notch, all around. Every part of the bow is, this top of the line. So let's get outside and we'll shoot a whole bunch. All right, so on to what we call our freestyle shoot, where we put the bow to work. Some reviews, they'll get inside of an indoor range and just kind of shoot a couple and tell you their thoughts. We are gonna shoot this thing until I can't shoot anymore. We'll get around and shoot at all these 3D targets we have here in the backyard, different angles, different ranges, different depths, and we'll really put the bow to work and and then we'll give you that grade. So let's get to shooting. We got a bore here at 25 and a buck at 30. So these arrows are coming off here really nice. I love the shot cycle on this thing. You know, a tri-track binary system. They're simple, they're easy to tune. You know, I love, you know, you just got 3 strings on here. Some bows got 7 strings. So nice and simple, easy, really clean shot cycle. The arrows come off this thing really, really nice. And you kind of adjust with each bow, you kind of adjust to that draw cycle. So the more and more I pull this thing back, the smoother it gets, which can happen from time to time. So each time I draw it back, it's like I modify my draw a little bit, and it gets cleaner and cleaner and smoother and smoother. So but man, I like this. I like this a lot. Again, new bow, haven't really got many of these in my hands. So now we'll jump over, we'll shoot across the yard at this coyote here, which is at 35 yards. So you get tons of different companies making these awesome bows. All the quality is amazing. Each of them performs. How do you separate them? You know, what separates them to you? To me, I think there's two things that you can consider that really separate bow companies. Let me shoot one more at this guy. But first, customer service. I think that's one of the biggest ones, the biggest things to me. Are they willing to get on the phone with you? Are they willing to help you through troubles? A lot of us are starting, you know, bow hunters are starting to want to do more and more at our homes, tuning, adjusting, putting stuff together. You know, will they take the time to walk you through some of these steps, help you tune your bow? Some companies, yes, some companies I feel like are just a little bit too big, that it's not in their best interest to take your phone calls, take your emails, and that's kind of what I've gotten. But man, being able to talk to the 2 owners that own Athens, that kind of made my day, and that really tells you how much they care about each of their customers, because in the end, I am a paying buying customer. I buy all the bows that we shoot, and that's really huge to me. So let's jump over, we'll do some of the longer range shots, and I'll tell you the second reason. So the other thing that really separates companies from me, warranty. Athens bows across the board have a lifetime transferable warranty. Can't get better than that. So many bows are such good quality, you know, they stay in circulation for a while. For that warranty to transfer from owner to owner, I think is awesome, and I love that they do that. And that kind of reassures you that they have full confidence in their product. You know what I mean? If somebody does a lifetime transferable warranty, that means they don't think that they're gonna have to fix or repair anything, or they're not anticipating a ton of it. So I love just that, knowing that. Maybe not even never to use it, but that kind of reassures you that you're buying something top notch, quality-wise. So I'm shooting great with this. Man, right off of the bat, I feel like, you know, some bows quicker than others. The more reps you get with each bow, the better and more consistent you can get, but then some right from the very beginning, you just pick them up and you feel like, man, I've been shooting this for a while. So we'll go turkey. You know, now the more I shoot it, the more I'm realizing it does have kind of a little pop to it, the noise-wise. Not horrible, but it does have a little snap to it. Let's go broadhead buck. But I'm telling you, the draw cycle is getting better and better and better. And sometimes that happens as a bow kind of loosens up. You know, those first shots, those very 1 and 2, 3 shots can be a little bit stiff, and then it's like everything just kind of gets greased, loosens up a little bit, and that draw cycle can change, you know, from shot 2 to shot 10, 15. So let's go to the black bear, which is at 40. Something else I'll mention, I just tried one of these AAE Prophecy drop rests. Man, this thing is awesome. I love this rest. 40-yard black bear, and then we'll jump up to the elk. Let's do one more on the black bear. Shoot a couple on each of these longer range ones. Man, I love this. I love this. So now we'll go up to that elk, which is at 50 yards. This is my favorite target to shoot at. We'll shoot, 4 or 5 on this one. Something else I'm really interested in seeing, after realizing how many different bow companies are out there and how high quality bows are being produced, in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I wonder if one of these other companies is going to kind of take the reins, or if, those same companies that we see are going to still be on top. I mean, this bow's quality is exceptional. The Spectra from last year from Darton, the quality exceptional. Surprising, to me, because I haven't really shot a ton of these. But the quality and craftsmanship is awesome on these bows. And then for them to shoot as effortlessly as they do, I mean, right from the beginning, just butter all around. Let's go, we'll go the elk at 50. We're gonna make one small adjustment. That maybe didn't show until we got up to the 50, but we'll shoot a couple more. I'm gonna sink one right in that heart. There we go. Man, I love the shot cycle. I love the draw. The hold is good. Not as solid as some of the ones we've seen, but it is really nice. The weight distribution of this bow is up in the perfections to me. I mean, just, it balances so nice for a 31-inch axle to axle. It's just a breeze to shoot. Some bows are just effortless to shoot. Little bit of vibration in the hand. I love this grip. I said that in the very beginning, and now just after shooting, like, there's something about the little indentations in it that fit your fingers and your thumb, but it's unique, and I really, really like it. So let's go one more. And I hurt my shoulder a couple weeks ago. And man, this thing, having a bow that's set at 70 but feels like you're pulling back 60, really easy to pull back, really smooth. I love the transition. I wish it had a little bit, it's at a little bit more solid back wall, but it's nice. A little bit of tension, kind of a little bit of that resistance stays while you're shooting. Man, I think they've done a great job with this. I love that they just concentrate on that, on the same bow. They put all their efforts into these bows, and then they cater to different shots. Different hunters. So the 38 that they have, it gets up to 33 and a half inch draw length. And they told me on the phone that some of these guys that come in and, trying to find that longer draw length for like maybe target shooting or something like that, they'll end up just using it as a hunting bow, which I think is really cool too. Just because they're just performing so well. But man, this is a nice bow. Let's go run it through that chronograph, and then we'll sit down and give it a grade. All right, so speed test. Same specs, 29.5, 70 pounds, 85% let off. It said 340 IBO. Again, the feeling of the bow, I never ever accuse somebody of fibbing the IBO. I just think the IBO is worthless, and it's a complete marketing selling point. The arrow they use is completely non-realistic. It's dangerous at that, to be shooting 70 pounds with a 350 grain arrow. It doesn't make any sense, so it's pointless. Doesn't make any sense to me. So 500 grain arrow. I can tell you right now by the way this thing shoots, it's not gonna get as high as I'm going to guesstimate from a 340 IBO. So different bows that we've seen around a 340 IBO, they get up into the, you know, the high 380s. We'll see. 277. And again, I can just simply guess that from the draw cycle of the bow. You can tell if a bow is gonna, you know, if it's pumping air or not just by shooting it. So you got, let's say last week, the Spectra from Darton. It had a very honest 330 to 335 IBO, and it got in the 300s with a 500 grain arrow. So does it really matter if a bow can pump a non-realistic arrow fast? No. Some bows, it doesn't matter if you up the weight of that arrow or not, they're still humming. And I like to point that out. I don't ever think a bow company's necessarily lying, but I think it's just a pointless, you know, a pointless spec is to give an IBO rating, you know, and say it's really high. So I'm excited to see the Omen from next week that we do. 356, fastest bow ever. You know, once we get to 500 grains on an arrow, is it really gonna be that much faster than anything else, or is that IBO inflated, you know, number just kind of pointless? You know, so let's do a couple more. But I'm thinking this is pretty accurate, right around or right under 280. So that's 284. And again, I'm not dogging this. This is fast. This is a great bow. You know, but choosing a bow off of its IBO rating just seems kind of, you know, a pointless 277. So yeah, right in that I'm gonna go right in the 280s, right under the 280. I'm thinking it's more 277, 278. 281. We're gonna do one more. We'll do best out of 5, whether it gets that 10 out of 10 or whether it gets an 8 out of 10. So if it gets under 280, we're gonna say that it averages out under 280. Nice, 284. So we'll just say right around 280, we'll give it the 10 out of 10 for the speed. Nice and fast bow. Again, if you're just beginning to hunting, 280 feet per second with a 500 grain arrow is absolutely devastating. I mean, this is an amazing bow. That's super fast. The IBO ratings are completely inflated and unrealistic. But let's sit down, we'll give it a grade. All right, so Vista 31. Man, what a cool bow. I love anything new. I love getting my hands on stuff that I've never shot before. I absolutely love talking to the owners about kind of this bow, their vision, buying a company and kind of their plans for the future. It seems like they're gonna put in some work and they're kind of dedicated to this sport, and they're gonna put out some great bows, and I think this was an absolute great start. I love the little changes that they made with the dampeners, the roller guard. I think this finish, so let's go ahead. I'll get to the finish in a second. So 280 gets the 10 out of 10. It was fluctuating right under 280, right above 280, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it the 10 out of 10 because just I kind of favoring this bow and Athens as a company. So 10 out of 10, good start. I'm also gonna give it a 9 out of 10 for the quality. And so, you know, that's really up there for a machined riser bow. But I think everything on this bow is as solid as you can get, from the limb pockets, cams, mods, risers, limbs, roller guards, everything absolutely well put together. I think the finish on this bow is one of my favorite to date. So 9 out of 10 for the quality, 9 out of 10 for the appeal. It's really simple, it's sleek, there's not a lot going on to it. It's just, you know, I love a basic, simple bow that performs really well. And I think just the look of everything together, I love this color gun smoke. I loved all the color options that they had online. It was really, really cool to kind of flip through them. I also gave it an 8 out of 10 for the technology. Pretty basic, compound bow that we see today. And then I gave it a 9 out of 10 for performance. I think I shot just as good as with this bow as any of the top bows that I've shot. I mean, if not better. I was shooting, you know, absolute darts from the very first shot I took to the last. You know, and I think it held really well. It was nice and solid in full draw. Draw cycle's pretty smooth. It's just an all-around good bow. I think for the price, it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other bows that we've seen. So maybe $100, $150 than a bow from another company. So, you know, $1,050. So it does get to make up 2 extra bonus points for the price. So you're looking at 47 out of 50, which gives it a 94 out of 100. Great grade for an Athens bow. Vista 31, awesome. I'd love to get my hands on some more of the Vistas. Even the 38 would be really, really fun to just shoot here in the yard. So awesome bow from them. Look forward to the future for Athens and what they're going to put out. If you found anything in this review that was helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel. We got lots of bows up already. We got lots more to come. Subscribe to us on Instagram, where you can follow along and find out what bows are going to come next. Don't buy a bow off a single bow review. Get tons of different bows in your hands. I think that you will be surprised in finding the bow that fits you best. Above all, get your reps in on the daily. We'll see you next Saturday.